Hey everyone. Hello everyone. Let me tell you a painful truth that you guys don't know about studying in China. So now I get a lot of students, international students that don't fail because they're lazy, they don't fail because they're not intelligent. Um they don't fail. They fail because they underestimate the power of language. The language barrier, that's a big deal. And it's not even about whether you are smart, whether you are intelligent, because I have seen people who are so smart and still yet, when it comes to just learning language, it's always very difficult for them. So now, I want you guys to understand that um, if you're trying to apply for the CSC, maybe you're hoping that you get admission and then you come to China. If you do not understand HSK, your academic journey will become very, very, very difficult. If you don't understand Chinese, your stay in China will be very, very difficult. So if you're planning to study in China for your bachelor's, for your master's, for your PhD, just type China in the chats. I understand that you guys may not really understand why HSK is so important. But if there's something that I would want to like explain to you guys is that I just something just happened of recent, and that story is what made me start, taking HSK very serious and just start taking like Chinese studies very serious. So now there was this message they put in the group on WeChat that, oh, okay, we have an event that we're supposed to go for. And guys, I'm not even the event kind of person, let me not lie. But somehow I wanted to go for that event and I haven't been going for events. But then I translated the message on the WeChat and I saw a different time, which was around like 8:50. But in the real Chinese, it is 8:05. That's why some of you guys are like want to translate Chinese. The best is to use the Baidu app. So now I'm getting harassed that, oh, Oma, you didn't come on time. This. While in my head, I'm like, what do you mean I didn't come on time? I came on time. What do you mean I didn't come on time? Because for me, I was just feeling like it was going to be like around 8:50. So it was just so frustrating for me. And then yeah, I just feel like for the past weeks, so those of you guys have not been seeing me online, for the past weeks, for the past days, I have been going through a lot. I have been going through a lot, guys. And it's just, I think it's because of the barrier, the language barrier. If you don't understand Chinese, you would really, really be like, you really frustrate. You'll be frustrated. So for me, I think that that's why I've come here to like guide you guys, just help you to understand the importance of HSK, what you need to know. I want you to understand that HSK is not just an exam, okay? That okay, you are just trying to like get the CSC scholarship or just come study in China. HSK is not about that, but I think HSK is something that will actually prepare you for your life and study in China. Because for me personally, I studied HSK right because I was about to write HSK 5, and I didn't even know that I know a lot of Chinese until I started learning Chinese again. And then while I was in class and the teacher was teaching Chinese, I feel like so many vocabularies that teacher was using, I was in shock when I knew them. I was like, oh my God, I knew this. And I was so surprised because sometimes when you're learning language, you always feel like you don't know, right? Like you always feel like maybe I don't know this thing. Maybe like maybe I just don't. It's anytime they ask you, can you speak this? You'll be like, my Chinese is bad. My Chinese is bad. I always say, oh, I don't know how to speak Chinese, even though I do speak Chinese when I like go out. But you still there's still a part of you still be like, oh, my Chinese is bad, I don't speak Chinese, blah blah blah. And I'm beginning to realize that when it comes to learning language, it's like a journey. You can never like feel that, oh, I've arrived. You will always It's always going to be like a journey that no matter the level. That's why they for HSK they have like level 1 to 5. So it's like no matter the level, you still need to keep learning the language. And that's something that I'm beginning to do, and that's really like guiding me, and that's really really helping me. And sometimes like the timetable, the Chinese, when you are studying, you always, especially if you're doing like a master's or bachelor's, you always realize that they used to have like Chinese, that you have to study Chinese. But those people who are doing like if you are doing like your course in Chinese, you do like 1 year Chinese study. Everything is in Chinese in China. Like your dormitory rules is in Chinese. Supervisor, most of them actually speak Chinese language. Very few supervisors that you get that speak English. And even the ones that speak English, like their English is not like perfect, right? So now even like their classmates, they are Chinese, and even though some of them learn English, they they understand Chinese better, as they understand Chinese more than English. So most of them they will always speak Chinese to you, and even if they want to speak English, they will struggle a lot, right? So with basic Chinese, I feel like it will help you, especially for those of you that are just starting. If you just learn at least HSK 1, 2, because HSK 1 to 3 helps with speaking. And another thing that's really helped me to improve my Chinese is the fact that I used to ensure that during the break time, because I don't used to have time to learn Chinese on my own, so I'll ensure that maybe during the break time, like during the holidays, I'm just like studying Chinese. And apart from just studying Chinese, I'm watching a lot of Chinese movies. And this has really, really helped me. And I think that this would really, really help a lot of you guys too. Like watching Chinese basically series, would really, really improve your interest, to help you to understand the culture of China, to help you to understand, to literally understand Chinese, right? But though I actually feel like the fastest is when you like study the books. But it's just that some of us, the books are not like, the books can be boring. Let's be honest, the books can be boring. So that's why some people just prefer to like just watch movies and try to improve your Chinese. But if you're going to be going for the exam, you're definitely going to be using the books. I have some books, to be honest, that I remember like I was studying for HSK. There's this book I got from someone, and this book, it has like over 5,000 words in Chinese, and the level for this particular one is level 4 and 5, and these are like dictionary words. Though the only disadvantage is that I wish that when they were like talking about the examples of this Chinese, that they put it in English, but they only put the single words in English, and then the examples is in Chinese. So that part I think you struggle a lot. And the other books that I actually have, there's this one. This one is the HSK vocabulary workbook level 5. I got this HSK vocabulary workbook. I think that was 2020. Yeah, I got this one 2020, and that's when I was preparing for the HSK 5. This one is actually HSK 5. This is like workbook whereby you just fill in the space and everything. To be honest, I'm just buying these books, but it doesn't mean that because I'm buying books that, oh my study, like I'm just sharing with you guys some of the books that I think that I have used that's really like helpful. But one thing I know is that these books I don't use them. What I use to study is just learning the vocabularies. And maybe by the end of this video, I'm gonna like just we'll study HSK together, I mean, that would be cool, right? We just study like HSK, maybe HSK 3 vocabularies or something. So we can just get familiar with it. And if you want one-on-one coaching, one-on-one Chinese coaching, I'll leave my information down below. You can reach me on my email, or you can reach me on Instagram, and I can actually do like a one-on-one coaching, or we can actually like I can actually hook you up with a Chinese teacher that would teach you Chinese. This is something that would really improve your Chinese. I am telling you. And because I'm in China, I already like know teachers that are not expensive. They are very serious, very good. So like if you study Chinese with these teachers, your Chinese will be so so good, and it's not even expensive because I'm in Tiaozuo, and Tiaozuo is like a small city, right? Compared to like Beijing. Beijing is a big city, and most things in Beijing are very, very expensive. But here in Tiaozuo, things are not so expensive. So definitely, if I'm going to be helping you, I'm going to be getting someone that I know that is not expensive too. So guys, just check description. You can actually contact me to actually assist you. Okay. So let's continue. So is HSK really? As in, what's HSK? HSK is Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi. Yes, that's like the meaning. Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi. Like I remember, like when my teacher would be teaching us this HSK, and then they always she always said this thing. So I just like in my head, back of my head, like I just hear like Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi. Even when you're studying the listening, right? Because they have, of course, languages. They always have like the listening, the reading, the writing, and what else? The listening, the reading, the writing, and speaking. I guess. So now, I think it's the listening. So if you're actually studying the listening, you will always be hearing "Hi, shaping culture." This is like "Hi, shaping culture." So that's the full meaning of HSK, right? So it's the official Chinese language exam, and actually designed by the Chinese government for non-native speakers. So, like IELTS, I mean, we have IELTS for English tests, you have TOEFL, you have Duolingo. So HSK test is also like is also used to test your Chinese. And you know that some company, like if you study in China now and you want to get a job, some company will ask you, do you have HSK? I remember one time I was actually applying for work, and there was a company that actually asked that question, do you have HSK? So HSK is something that is good even for maybe apart from just studying, like just understanding Chinese, improving your Chinese. HSK is just good for you. Another thing is that I remember like some students, they were doing over Sabi. We were writing HSK 5 exam, and I saw some students, they were already studied HSK 6. And remember, I'm like, who sent you people? You people just do too much. But that's to let you know that people just don't want to study Chinese, and they just want to improve their Chinese. So some people, they will go like, even if they say okay, write HSK 3, they'll be preparing for like HSK 5 for the prepare for HSK 6 or 4. So like it depends on your level. I had a client who was actually like planning to come study in China, and I had to like tell her, okay, if she had the HSK, to be really good because she was applying for bachelors. So I had to tell her that if you had the HSK, to really, really be good because it was too competitive. Like a lot of people were applying. So I was just trying to let her know that if she had HSK, it's really good. I could help her get. And then the beautiful thing is that she was able to get HSK 1. She was able to get HSK 2. I think she was even about to get that HSK 3 before she later like reversed and she didn't come again. But I've had clients that they have HSK already. Do you understand? So it's not even as if no, this is something. Some people already have the HSK. Me self, I'm not talking about myself. Oh, please, let me not talk about myself. Okay, guys. So let's talk about like more about HSK. Like how well do you think you can understand like spoken Chinese? Do you know that you can? Do you know that the easiest thing to learn is the spoken Chinese? Do you know that? Yes, I know that so many people feel like Chinese is hard, but the easiest thing to learn is the spoken Chinese because you can practice. You always go to buy food stuff, you always go to do some things, and you can always practice. You can always like I have anytime I want to practice my Chinese, I like to go to this store whereby this woman she sells like she take pictures. I like to go there because the woman is really nice. And I like to go there to practice my Chinese in her office. So I like to go there to practice my Chinese in her office because of course I want to improve my Chinese. So it's not like I'm using her, but I just enjoy going to practice my Chinese in her office. And do you know that just reminded me because that woman has actually really helped me a lot. So many things. I need to literally just one day buy her buy her a gift. Just go to her office and give her this gift just to say thank you for everything that you've been doing. Thank you for supporting and thank you for all the love that you've shown. Because to be honest, I feel like some people deserve to be appreciated. And just because we have so many things we're doing in life, we just don't take our time to appreciate people who have been there for us. Don't take our time to appreciate people who have shown us support. Don't take our time to appreciate people who have shown us love. And for me, I'm trying my best to get to that level whereby I can be able to remember the good things that people have done for me and just say thank you. I I actually I actually appreciate. So guys, and the other thing is that you want to know like how can you express yourself, not just in the speaking, also in the writing. Um, okay, so let's look at what do you use HSK for. So the first thing I use HSK for is the university admission. So now some universities they would issue you like they will not issue you like admission letter or without the HSK. Especially if your program is Chinese taught, some universities they'll say they want the HSK like HSK 4. They'll tell you that submit your HSK, if you have HSK, submit so that we can give you admission letter. So some schools do that, but some schools what they do is that even if you don't know how to speak Chinese, even if your Chinese is not good, what they do is that they would still like admit you to the university, but then you do like 1 year Chinese. And then when you do this 1 year Chinese, somehow your Chinese will be better, your Chinese will be good, your Chinese will improve. So this is something that you can also think about. Like while you're doing your application, you should just think of how you can actually improve your Chinese so that because it just let me tell you something. Let me tell you one truth. Do you know that your course, like whatever program you're studying, like if you are doing any program, do you know that if you know how to speak Chinese in China, you are looked at that you are even better. You are better than someone who is so intelligent, someone who knows the program, someone who is good, but the person does not know how to speak Chinese. So that's how important Chinese can be. Like you just doing how to speak Chinese, even if your program you are doing rubbish, but your Chinese is the best. I feel like the Chinese people will always like you. So trust me when I'm telling you, if your Chinese is good, you have high chance of getting opportunity in China. Also, like if your Chinese is good, you also have a high chance of getting a job in China because when you're applying, that's the first thing they used to ask. When you're applying for a job, that's the first thing some of these companies will ask. To ask, how is your Chinese, right? Because they know that definitely when you're working, you're going to be communicating with the Chinese people. So they will ask you how is your Chinese, how you need to improve your Chinese. Another reason why I think what they use HSK for is also for scholarship approval. Yes. So for the CSC and provincial scholarships, they always prefer those students who knows like how to speak Chinese, students who have the HSK, especially when it is more competitive. So knowing as in having an HSK is something that would give you an edge over other students. So now maybe two students can apply, and one person, even though your grades are so high, the other person the grades may not be that high, but that person have HSK. I think they will consider the person with HSK more than someone with really high grades. That's how serious knowing Chinese would really like help you. So that's something you need to know. Also, HSK language like help you with like class placements and everything, because maybe now I feel like if you arrive in China, you don't have to do like the language or anything. And even if you're doing the language, you'll be really, really good. Like you'll be good. And the HSK is also like a part of the graduation requirement. So some universities they'll not allow you to graduate unless you have HSK. So you need to understand that HSK can affect your admission, HSK can affect your scholarship, and it also can affect you from graduating. And even if you're doing English, even if your major is in English, in China you still need HSK. Yes, if you're doing bachelor's and your major is Chinese taught, you need HSK 4. If you are doing English course, you need HSK 3. So you cannot run away from HSK. You still need to write HSK no matter what you're studying. So now let's talk about like HSK versus degree level. Okay, for the bachelor's degree, I feel like for bachelor's degree, like I just said, your HSK depends on whether your course is taught in English or in Chinese, right? So now, if your course is taught in like English, you normally require like HSK 2 to 3. So let's say now you're doing like computer science, and your computer science is taught. The teacher is going to teach you in English language. Definitely, the first year you don't need to do HSK or whatever, but at least before you graduate, they will tell you that you need to actually pass the HSK 3 to actually like, you know, continue or something like that. So now, if you are doing your bachelor and it's taught in Chinese, then you need the HSK 4 or you need the HSK 5 before you can actually like apply. Or some school they'll say okay, they'll do like 1 year Chinese for you and you write the exam before you can actually start your major. Yeah, I know it's difficult, but lucky me, I didn't do that. But I know a lot of people that do that. Also, for master's degree, I think master students is a lot higher because if you're doing a Chinese taught program for masters, you need HSK 5 or 6. And if you are doing English, you need HSK 3. So masters is actually way more like harder. So that's something you need to understand. And for master students doing safety, or if you're doing engineering, let's say now you're doing like an engineering course and it's taught in English, right? And you still need to do you still need to do a lot of research work. You still need to do a lot of in some schools for masters they say you have to publish maybe one paper or something. Then now you still have to like do language. So it can be very, very stressful when you are trying to study your program and study language. Combining the two is very stressful because man, language requires a lot of time. So and then while you're doing your major too, it requires a lot of time. So sometimes in my head I used to feel like when you're studying in China, it's like you're doing like two majors. That's how I used to feel. It's like you're learning language, a new language that you have not you don't know anything. You're just learning this language, especially for those people who have never learned Chinese before and they just come and they learn Chinese for the first time. So it's like you're learning this new language that you've never done before, and then you're not learning your program. So it can actually be very, very frustrating to be honest. But I just feel like some people have done it, many people have done it, so you can do it. For PhD level, to be very honest, I feel like PhD students, they used to feel like I beg we don't need HSK. But I think also PhD they need HSK. So because um you're trying, how do you like communicate with with fellow students, right? Exactly. But I know that I just feel like PhD and masters is the same thing. You need HSK 5 or 6. So yeah, so we have HSK 1 to 2. Um, at least when you are actually learning HSK 1 to 2, you can be able to like introduce yourself in Chinese. 我是我叫Oma. 我喜欢吃饭. Chifan. What's the one? Membao. So you can just be able to like introduce yourself. What should you really are? What else? Needed Doda. Like you can just at least you can even understand, even if you don't even know how to speak. I feel like that HSK one, anybody that's communicating with you, you can actually understand what the person is saying, right? And you can be able to like tell the person. Also, if you even need help with this Chinese, just download apps because a lot of times if you don't know how to speak Chinese, you can always be checking your phone. Like even me now, I still check my phone. I still check my apps to search for some words. And the app I'll recommend because I use Baidu to do a whole sentence translation. But I feel like for individual words, the best app would be the Playco app. Pleco. Playco. So it's so easy. Like you can literally just type a single word and something will just come out. And the reason why I like the Pleco app, because let me tell you something. In China, there are so many words. Like you can have food, and there are so many Chinese words for food. So now with the Pleco app, it will help you because when you type food, it puts the number one, like the known word, the popular word for food in China. It puts it there on top. So Thai. See, there's another word for food. Shiu. So there are so many words for just food. For just food. Funny enough, the word I use for food is not even but yeah, Thai means like dish or something. So if you want to like check it, right? Chifan. Chifan. There are so many words for it. There's chi, there's ting, there's chu. So you see, but Pleco just helps you, right? So I think the Pleco app is actually very, very good for you. Okay, somebody is asking, so is it best to write HSK before coming to China? Wow, if you can do that, please do. Because the moment you have HSK, everything just becomes so easy for you. Like applying for scholarships, everything just becomes so easy. So if you can actually apply for HSK before you come to China, I would advise you to do that. I'm telling you, to really to help you get scholarship, to help you get like the teachers will really like you, your international office, they really like you because by the time you actually know how to speak Chinese and you're coming to China, like they'll be like so happy, like they'll be involving you with a lot of things, involving you with a lot of activities. You'll be helping them to do a lot of things, and then they will just like you, to be honest. So I think if you can actually do this, please do. They also have like the HSK 3, and the HSK 3 just help you like just surviving daily life, um also explaining problems, be able to like hold basic conversations. Basically, HSK 1 to 3 is just to help you to be able to at least communicate, right? The HSK 4, you're talking about work, study, you're talking about topics that are like, you know, probably way more harder. And the HSK 5 to 6, oh my god. You know those kind of papers are like academic transcripts or like newspaper related kind of this this book this book is HSK. Okay, this book is HSK 5. HSK 5, this book. And I really did not understand it. That I was when I actually bought it the first time, I actually didn't understand. But at least the dictionary helps. So it's just for you to like understand all those things. So my advice for you, like when you're doing this, when you're practicing, do what works for you because a lot of times people will be telling you, oh, do this, do that. You'll even be confused. Everybody's just trying to tell you what to do. And if you're not careful, you'll just be confused because first time for me, and sometimes when you're studying, because it feels like when you're studying, you're not still able to communicate, or when you're studying, you're still like finding a lot of things difficult. You'll not be thinking that your Chinese is really bad. Meanwhile, your Chinese is not so bad. Trust me, your Chinese is not so bad. Okay, because no matter the level you are, I feel like they'll still be like, you still not be like perfect. You are learning Chinese in just 1 year, 2 years. Of course, you're not supposed to be perfect. You still need to like improve. So the level, no matter the level you are in, don't get discouraged. Keep practicing. I feel like that was something that really helped me because I felt like when I was studying Chinese, a lot of my colleagues, it looks like they had gone ahead of me. It looks like they knew this Chinese. So there was this guy, he even dated a Chinese lady just so that he can improve his Chinese. And you can clearly see them, like when they're speaking Chinese, their Chinese is so good. And you just be thinking to yourself, Abi, make I look for Chinese boyfriend like this. Make I improve my Chinese because my Chinese is not like the best. So it's like if you compare yourself with other students, if you compare yourself with other people, you would always not be motivated to learn language. You not be motivated to learn. So surround yourself with someone that helps you, someone that's not always like looking down on you, looking down on your level. And remember, language is a journey, right? So it's not as if, no, as you're learning that you perfect it. Just keep practicing. Even as I'm talking to you, there's so many, and I do you know another annoying thing when you're learning language. There's so many things that just fly out of your head. You learn something and then you'll be like, I know this word, and you'll not remember. As you're learning language, there's so many things that are just like not be in your head. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but it was always happening to me when I was studying Chinese. I used to struggle a lot because when I finished studying Chinese, I would forget a lot of things. But I was never like discouraged. I'm not the kind of person that read a lot. So I work with what works for me. But when I want to read, hey, I will read. I will consume myself. That's the difference between me. There's some people they read like every day, every day, every day. But for me, I don't do that every day thing. But at least one of the things that also work for me, because I'm always going out. So somehow I'm always practicing my Chinese. I'm always speaking to um Chinese people, and somehow I'm always like practicing. Even the little ones I know, I'm practicing. I still don't feel confident, but you be hearing them say, "Oh, your Chinese is good. Your Chinese is good." I beg. I don't need to allow them deceive me. Because that's what they will always be saying. Your Chinese is good. Your Chinese, I beg. Oh, even me, I used to tell people. I used to tell Chinese people that your English is good, even though their English is not even good. So anytime anybody tells me your Chinese is good, I know they're just like trying to like make me be confident in myself. But I don't deceive myself. I know that my Chinese is so good because if my Chinese is perfect, why is it I don't understand everything that you're saying? Every word that comes out of your mouth. Why don't I understand it? Okay, guys, let's continue. So let's look at like the sections of the exams. Okay, so we have like listening, we have reading, we have writing. So now for the listening part, this one is where I think most students fail because, of course, Chinese is not something that um you are, it's not like English. You have the tones, right? So if you miss the tones, you might not even know the meaning. Like so, if now you're listening and maybe like some like mama, ma is mother, right? Mama. Then there's horse, which is ma. So Chinese it deals with tones. Ah, 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 ah. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but it just deals with tone. Ah, 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 something like that. So now you can have a word that almost sound alike, but have like different tones and have different meaning, and it happens a lot with Chinese words. So you have to really you have to be really careful. You can be speaking a word and you're insulting someone, you're insulting your lecturer, you're insulting your supervisor. So you have to be careful. That's what I mean. I don't used to talk too much. Also, you have the reading, and the reading is about like just recognizing what people say. And another thing about reading is that you may not really understand everything. I mean, the characters, but at least you can just recognize some things, right? And then there's the writing part, and then there's like the speaking. I think the speaking part is what we call HSK. So that part you do ask you questions in Chinese and then you have to speak. So these are like how it is, and I feel like the writing test, it's not I don't want to say it's not so difficult because writing too is not even easy. Okay, so yes, I feel if you have any question that you want to ask concerning HSK, now is the time for you to ask me. Please ask me your questions now while I I take like a really short break, guys. Yeah, you can ask me your questions. Um, because a lot of people are already like applying for the CSC, and the beautiful thing that is that none of you are applying for Chinese Thoughts program, which is good, but it's more competitive. If you're applying for English Thoughts, it's more competitive because almost everybody's applying for English Thought programs. Most people don't apply for Chinese Thought programs. I even remember when I was applying for CSC, and I applied for English Thoughts, but it looks like the university they wanted to give me Chinese Thoughts, so they even had to email me and they told me that they had English Thoughts and they had the Chinese Thoughts program for me, which was the IT and which was control engineering, and I chose Chinese Thoughts. I actually chose English Thoughts so initially, but the kind of family I come from, I feel like they wanted me to learn Chinese because maybe they felt like, oh, it will help me. So I did the Chinese. In my next life, I will not try that mistake. I will go for English thoughts. Nobody prepared me for Chinese. Do you understand how it feels going to actually study Chinese when you don't even I've never the funny thing, I've never watched a Chinese movie. I have never seen a character in my life. I didn't know anything about China, and I was just entering China for the first time and I was going to learn Chinese. Ah, God. So you see, and if me that didn't know anything, my Chinese can be good. So many people they've been watching Chinese movies. So many people they know a lot about China. So many people they've been to China itself. So many people they have family members to like business and they come to China. So you you are better than me because me I didn't know anything, nothing. The only thing I've ever heard about China because I have an uncle that he's into like business and he buys some of his goods from China. And the only thing I've ever heard about China was just that oh he buys his goods from China. That's it. Never I didn't even do my research. I'm such a funny lady. At least if you're even going abroad, you would even do your research. If you want to know more, you want to read more. I didn't do that. I just came like that. I just came like that, and some of you guys are better than me. So that's why I'm here saying that if I'm here helping you, you can make it in this country. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me on my Instagram. My Instagram is down below. You can always reach out to me, ask me your questions, and I of course want to help. Okay, let's talk about like HSK, like how you can prepare for HSK smartly. I mean, like, do not cram because, of course, if you cram, you forget a lot of things. Language is not about cramming. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Because no matter how you want to cram, you will forget. So now, let's say like you want to learn HSK 3, you want to like devote at least 2 to 3 months of studies. If you want to learn HSK 4, 3 to 4 months, and if you want to learn HSK 5, maybe 6 months, right? Interval. And then, if you are learning language, my the thing I always tell advise people is that I know that people take a lot of breaks. Like me now, I'm not intense. But the thing about language learning is that if you devote 1 whole month and you're just studying language, I mean you're studying language morning, afternoon, night for 1 whole month, your language will be so good compared to someone who studies a language this month, next month, like they are not really consistent. I feel like the intensity of a language, the intensity of the study of a language is very good compared to like you spacing out your study. And you can start with learning like vocabularies, right? So you can start with learning words. Even if you don't understand, just start. And then you can also start with listening, like reading, listening to. For me, I always watch series, like I told you guys, Chinese series, but you can also listen to vlogs. I feel like there are a lot of YouTubers they vlog about in Chinese, and sometimes I watch those vlogs. You can literally, there's so many ways you can improve your listening when it comes to Chinese, and also you can practice yourself, teach yourself naturally from books and practice, and try as much as possible to constantly revise. Okay. Yes. Also now, mistakes I feel like people make is that they do not prepare. They do not prepare. They did not prepare. You need to prepare. You need to prepare so much. China can become so overwhelming. So you need to be prepared when you're coming. It's not even just about the language. Some people may know language, but you don't even know the culture. You don't know how the people think. Do you understand? So this is another thing. Even me that I've been here, I'm always talking about China. I'm always posting about China. I still struggle a lot with understanding a lot of things about China. So I feel like you just need to be prepared and put in your mind and be consistent. So many people come here and they can't make it and they leave. So if you're not prepared spiritually, you're not prepared. If you're not prepared at all, it will really, really affect you. So you really need to be prepared because you face a lot of difficulty. I'm not even going to lie to you. You face a lot of difficulty here. But please, let me not scare you. Just be prepared. Um, and also daily life, like literally everybody speak Chinese here. When you go to the supermarket, they speak Chinese. When you go to the bookshop, they speak Chinese. Everywhere they speak Chinese. It's not like as soon as you come and you think that you find English speakers. You hardly, except maybe some of the students. It's just very few people that know how to speak English. So you just be literally on your own most of the times. Yeah, you probably just be on your own most of the times. So HSK is not a barrier, it's just like a bridge to help you prepare early and to get the opportunities that you can actually get. And another thing I'm also like reminding myself is that I shouldn't be focusing so much attention on the opportunities I'm going to get from China. I shouldn't be teaching you guys too much about all these opportunities you can get from China, like, oh, CSC, this. Because I feel like, was it yesterday or so? One of the teachers was speaking to me, and then they were just talking to me about like the fact that some of the Chinese people they're not really happy that we're always talking about like scholarships. We're showcasing the opportunities that we're getting because some of them they're not getting some of these things. And I actually just felt it deep in my heart, like because as a Nigerian lady, I know that some people come to Nigeria and there are some opportunities they get from us. And I'm beginning to think to myself that how would I feel as a Nigerian that I'm not even be able to get a job? There's so many difficulties I face as a Nigerian, and then I see some foreigner coming to the country, and I've seen that my government is giving them a job free of charge, giving them school, paying their tuition fees, sending them stipends, paying their accommodation. Of course, I will feel really, really hot. I will not be happy. So I kind of understand. I stay understanding this. So for me now, I'm thinking like this. Okay, you know what? I want to be all about opportunities that you can get from China. Maybe what I will do more of is maybe showcasing the culture of China, talking about the things that I feel like you just need to learn, and also the values you can also bring to China. Because as much as we think that okay, yes, China is there, they are making money, they are this. I feel like they still need a lot of value. They are still looking for people who will bring values into the country. That's why you see that this year they are focusing on people who can publish papers, people who do research, because they want people to bring in value into the country. They are not more like focusing on how they need to give scholarships to this person, how they need to help this person, how they need to give. Sometimes collecting from that country. It's not fair. Maybe sometimes when you're going to a country, you also need to ask yourself, what am I going to give to this country? What value do you think? At least like me now, I've collected masters. I'm doing PhD. At least just ask yourself, what value do I think I should offer to China? Because they have actually been of help. They have been of help to me. I mean, if not because of them, who would have paid for my masters? My parents, after my bachelor, they say, I beg go, you're on your own. It's not like I come from a poor home, but it's just that they did not, as a lady, they, especially in Africa, they are not here thinking of how they want to come and be training you for masters or PhD or any other studies that you want to do. You guys know how it is. So now you come to a country, they're helping you with taking care of your tuition fee, they're taking care of your stipends, they're taking care of your accommodation. I mean, I think I think it's high time. And do you know they've been doing this CSC for the longest time? Because I remember my mom telling me of a colleague. Imagine a colleague who have gotten CSC. So CSC has been for ages. They have been given scholarships. It's just that some people didn't know about this. So now I feel like it's not just about okay what I'm gonna get. It's also about what I'm gonna give, and that's where I am right now. I hope that God will help me because let me tell you, I'm getting clients, okay, for CSC scholarship, and it's difficult for me to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop talking about CSC. I'm gonna focus on the values I feel like people should offer to China. It's difficult for me to get to that point where I'm going to be like, I need to not talk about like all those things because I mean that's what people are interested in. People are interested in the opportunities they'll get. But I still I just pray that God give me the grace to talk more on that because at least I've done a lot of videos for you about CSA and just the opportunities. So there's nothing bad for me now talking about like something like this HSK. I haven't really done like an HSK talk for you guys before, so it's not so bad doing videos like this talking about HSK and every other thing. So guys, I have actually like tried to like explain a lot about this. Let's just practice some HSK words. I said I was gonna do like HSK words for you guys. So let's practice that. Okay? Yeah. So now this word is ai. Ai means auntie in China. So for those of you guys that don't know, ai means auntie in China. And they also have like it's not like auntie like, oh, I don't know how to explain it. Like I is like someone who like someone like a woman that is just like that senior you, right? Some of these words you guys already know because this is like HSK3. So yeah, like these are just words. So I'm just like going to just be going through because I mean, okay, there's bien hua. Bien hua is change, right? I'm trying to look for the popular ones that are mostly used. Because guys, let me tell you, if you want to start learning language, the best thing to do is to use, especially because you want to already start speaking the language. Know that you'll be learning the vocabulary and you're not speaking. So for me, the best thing I used to do is that if I'm learning the language, I want to learn the language that are really popular that I just want to like start speaking it. I want to add it to what I'm already saying. So as you're learning new words, you're really like speaking, it will not leave your head. Because if you don't use those words, you'll forget. Yeah. You forget the words. I'm telling you. So it's best for you to, as you're learning, use the word. So there's that. Is that Daran? Yes, Daran. Daran is like, of course. Yeah, I always use that. And let me see which other word is popular. Which other word is popular? Get a code. Get a code. That is like Gamal. Do. So yeah, of course, because China is very cold, so definitely that word is very popular. Okay, which other word is very popular here? Hey, difficult name, nan, nanma, henan. I use this word a lot because of course if you're in the academia, you just be like complaining about too many hard things. So yes, so you guys can see these words are so many, and this is just HSK 3, right? So for different HSKs or the levels, they have like the words, the amount of words you have to learn. So those of you that already have like HSK 1, so they have like the amount of words you have to learn. I remember that for HSK 5, I think you had to learn like over 2,000. 500 words. I'm not so sure. So there are so many words, and different for different level have the words that you need to learn. So it's just for you guys to just practice and keep practicing. And I'm telling you, even if you forget, your Chinese will be better. Your When you speak, especially if you have like good Chinese teachers, your Chinese will be so good. So if you want to actually you want me to teach you Chinese, please check description, contact me, or I can even hook you up with a Chinese teacher that can actually the professional, cheap Chinese teacher that will teach you Chinese, and your Chinese will be really, really good. So just contact me for this, okay? So yes, if you have any more questions, please leave it down description. I want to say thank you guys for joining me in this live video. I hope I was able to like help with this Chinese studies because I understand the struggles that a lot of people go through. Because for me, I'm still struggling to understand. So I hope I was able to help you guys in learning Chinese. Remember that I'm your big sis, okay? In China, and I'm always here to assist you. Whatever you need, always just let me know, and I'm right there to guide you. Okay? I'll see you guys in my next video. Till next time. Bye. Bye bye guys. I'll see you guys, okay?